Hi, this is Tim in Oregon. I'd like to start this blog talk radio show with a song. New. I'm sharing the song because it's a promise made that if a person's sincere and wants to know why they're here and what life's all about, if a person sings this new you song for like 15 minutes before they go to sleep, and maybe 15 minutes in the morning when they wake up, the real guides will provide a real guidance and a real education about what it's all about. Anyway, what's really important in a person's existence or life? We like things in this physical, like health and love and material things seem to be pretty important. But none of this stuff goes with us when we leave these physical bodies. Well, maybe I shouldn't say none of it, but so what I'm putting this effort out for is because I think it's important, or I wouldn't be trying to share this, is that here we find ourselves in almost like a person was to imagine a hell in many places on this physical earth, with disease and starvation and the wars and all these things that we wouldn't want to experience. So it looks like it's something that's needed to go through, that we need these experiences so that we can have a comparison to what isn't real and to what is real. Here we have time. We call it time, and it seems precious to us. Our physical bodies seem to only last so long. But when we look at foreverness, you can't measure foreverness. So what is this thing we've made up called time? It's just like the blink of an eye. And so we think of things like this physical body, and then we may be becoming aware that we have other bodies, like an astral body and a causal body. Well, the astral body sounds like it's having to do with the emotions, and the causal body has to do with like memories. Then we have a mental body, and that's like our thinking body, and then the etheric body, like our subconscious, or except for this physical, they're all invisible to our physical senses. And then there's said to be a deep, dark border between this stuff that's called psych realms, with these 5 bodies: the physical, astral, causal, mental, and etheric, and then a deep, dark border, and then we get into the real universes where our real awareness is. We can look at time too, like if you want to time travel, well, just look back in your past right now, and maybe you were riding a bicycle or anything. Well, then you see you're in that time, what we call time, at the same time as now. And then in the future, you can look into the future, like through imagination and stuff, and So that's just changing our awareness. You could be thinking about, oh, how would it be like a zillion years from now? What would a person's imagination think life was going to be like if we have an awareness that lasts when our bodies, physical bodies, don't last? And there's things that are going on in our lives like dreams, and some of them are very, how would you call it? Vivid. And we try to understand what they mean, if they have a meaning, which seems like they do have meanings, and that actually they may be more of what's real than this physical outer life, which is maybe an illusion, just something we're going through. It's like, it could be called, like Dwayne, the great writer, calls it a passing dream. Does anybody have a dream vision they'd like to share? That something that was important to them that they think would be important to share with others?
Yes, this is Claudia from Texas. Hi,
yeah,
Jen.
Hi, Claudia. Yeah, go ahead.
Just wanted to share this. Came in last night. Was sitting in a little glade or a little small forest in California where those big tall trees are. I don't remember the name of them, but they're the ones that are very big.
The
anyway,
sequoia redwood trees. Sequoia redwoods?
Okay. Those, yes, on the ground with Mother Earth, and our backs were on the tree. And we were talking about the planet and how much devastation has been on the planet from the humans. And she said, maybe we can get it fixed up. And I said, yes, if we work together, we can refurbish the Earth or bring it back to where it was before humans started wrecking it. And she says, yes, I am very much interested in what Dwayne has said in the new presentation, that this is a possibility, and I would like to see what we can do to get this started. And I said, oh, that's great. That's what's called waking up. When you see something and you recognize it and you say, oh, what can I do to help? That's what she was talking about. But the other thing was, she said, my trees have root systems. And I said, okay. And she says, all plants have roots. And this is how the plant population communicates with each other. She said another example is how the elephants communicate with each other. When they walk, they make a sound. It's a very low frequency sound, but it goes through the earth and is transmitted to other elephants whose feet are touching the ground. And that's how they communicate. She said all of the planet is in communication with other parts of the planet in their own particular way. And she said the more, when humans finally get in on the conversation, they'll be able to understand more and possibly stop hurting me. And so that was the dream last night. It was very interesting to talk to Mother Earth. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Claudia. That is very interesting that you have the ability to talk with Mother Earth in your dream visions. The tallest tree on Earth is just down the road from me here. I've been thinking about going down to Jedediah Smith Park here in Northern California to visit and sing the new You song. It has the clearest river on Earth there too, the Smith River. It's claimed to be the purest, cleanest on Earth. Very beautiful, crystal clear water that runs through the redwoods in places. Yes, by singing this new you song and being guided to what's going on and the reasons why in this psych realm stuff with cause and effect here in creation. We hear about these reptilian beings that came to the earth, in time very long ago, maybe a million years or millions, or maybe somewhere way back anyway, and they have to have abilities and technology very advanced, it sounds like, to what we have here on this physical realm as humans. The majority of us are very, what would you call it, stupid or dumb compared to, in the way of technology compared to them, whether they were a million years advanced in it or something, or thousands of years anyway. Their abilities, it sounds like they can shape shift, take on different appearances, and they had a purpose here to get gold to save their atmosphere on the planet that was they were from, that was being destroyed, which was probably for some reason in this cause and effect that they had caused to happen. So they were after the gold here on this planet, and then it seems like that they didn't have enough technology to be able to make physical things do what was required to get the gold and other things that they wanted from this earth. So they modified, whatever you want to call it, DNA, or changed, if it's called genes or whatever, from monkeys mixed with them to create humans as workers for them, as slaves. This stuff seems to be that we have been in a human farming prison planet, that they have control of this physical stuff, that we don't see really what's going on and why they are this way. They just seem to be that way. It sounds like they live off of our emotions, and they do things that we see as terrible or as bad as we can practically imagine, of torturing babies and eating them and things that it's hard to understand why it is this way. Anyway, Val, do you have something you'd like to mention about the psych realms, or what we were talking about, like Claudia and communicating with Mother Earth? Or
well, it's kind of interesting what Dwayne, the great writer, was saying about time and time travel. So I didn't really get a chance to look at it, but there is a portion, I think book 3, there's a little bit. Well, it's indirectly concerned with time travel, or becoming more aware. Basically, time is not so. It's kind of interesting how it works and how people look at it. But it's, as we understand it, everything is now. It's new now every moment. But for the mind to get that, it's very, very difficult, very challenging, because we live in this reality of our 5 bodies. So it's to get that, to really get it, it takes a while to really get to it. So this passage kind of helps to understand the process we go through. So I'll just read a little bit. As the true reality descends upon, as the true reality descends upon you, it melts away your present psychological formations and shatters the walls of the ego to give you greater awareness of vision, perception, motivation, and perfection. All forms of life that are unable to bear the change of this burning, fiery awareness must disappear, and all that can bear it will survive and enter into the real universes of sound and light. This true reality will deal with all that is beneficial for the student and for the whole. Alone, the awaiting universal will must choose one's actions, must change into a dynamic movement of that will. Enjoyment must be replaced by the play of a pure and real bliss. All personal will is either a temporary delegation from the true reality or designated by it. Even after you are a free agent, you will be in this world and remain to do its works. To remain in the world without desire is to act for the good of the whole world in general, for the human race, or for some new creation to be evolved on earth, or for some work imposed by the reality within you. True freedom and real truth fulfill its movement in the real guide according to each one's nature. This is the special aspect of the true reality out of which the U-tune has emerged into action, unlimited by any form of its realness or way. For the new is infinite. You will provide the nowness of truth according to the temperament of the real you, in any combination of essential attributes that may constitute the form given to your being by it becoming so. I'm trying to go slow because this is a lot. The true essence of your being is part of the trinity of the true reality, that is purity, real truth, and real freedom. As a part of the Trinity, it constitutes the movement, the action, or motion of it. The reality makes up that part of our being in which we need action of any kind. Even thought consists of using the reality, but on a higher level than in the physical realm. I will begin here with real wisdom, which takes up that part of the Trinity that gives right direction to action and freedom, the quality that gives our being an opportunity to move and do as wisdom directs. In other words, one has more than a limited choice, which man believes is a freedom from his limited view while on earth. He can choose his actions and directions without interference from anything or any creature of the great reality. This is a truth which leads to real truth. And I notice the real guides are not subject to as much as regular people are, as to the causes. They're not the effect, in other words, of the goings-on of creation. They're more cause. They're more, in a way, what Paul used to say, pure positive. They're in this area that's really much more creative, and their positioning is closer to or is with the reality that is always now. So they're not subject to the effects as much. Although when they are in the creation worlds, they are, there's always effect, but they're not. They're more, they teach us, or they present to us that we could be disinterested, or the old term used to be detached. That Dwayne uses disinterested sometimes. Sort of like water rolling off a duck's back, whatever happens to us. and then it leads again to the intent. If you have that intent, that helps that positioning, so that you are not an effect as much as the cause, cause of your own volition in the creation worlds, and then you have the position with the real is, the all is. That's. But anyway, it's all now. That's the interesting thing. The time travel is interesting. Philadelphia experiment. It was 1943. You can get stuck, like the people got stuck in the hull of the ship there. It gets kind of gnarly because there's different aspects to it in the psych worlds. It's like anything here in the physical. There's certain properties and the so-called laws, of design and physics that you can get caught up in when you're time traveling, I guess. But so it's safer just to be now, or just to learn how to be new now. And if you want to play with time travel, well, that's whatever. But better with the real guides, showing you how that works. So that's it. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, thanks, Val. Yeah, that's important stuff.